Okay, folks, I normally don't do this. You know, reviews and what I think of movies normally isn't my thing. But I did just get home from seeing Rogue One and, well, it was awesome. I gotta tell you, it was awesome. Oh, and by the way, if you don't want spoilers, you probably might want to turn off the video. I am gonna discuss. All right. So there's a few things that kind of like the whole thing with the Orsos at the beginning, and Galen and Jin and his family, and they don't really. I would have liked a little bit of a better explanation as to why he left the Empire. I know it's kind of like, well, he was duped into doing this research, but kind of, just a little bit better explanation than that is something I would have liked. But yeah, we don't exactly get it, but that's okay. We're gonna get tilt this better so that we don't. Like I was saying, we don't really get that. It would have been a little bit nicer. I don't really have too much of an issue with, her being a child, Saul Kareth picking her up, and then the story at that point jumps forward like, I don't know, maybe 20 years? I'm not sure because they do explain that he took her in as a child. She was like 15, 16 when he kind of when Saul Kareth basically kind of just left her to her own devices, in a manner of speaking. And then there's not really much in the way of kind of a time frame from the time that he leaves her to her own devices and the Rebel Alliance rescues her and has her go back to Saul. So kind of a little iffy on the time frame. But that said, it was kind of nice to see Hannibal Lecter as her dad. For those of you who don't know, Mads Mikkelsen, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he's in the movie as Jin's father, and he is the same guy who played Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal TV show, which was one of my favorite TV shows when it was on the air because I like the idea of showing Hannibal being Hannibal before he was captured and everything that was in Red Dragon and led up to Silence of the Lambs and all that. Oh, and by the way, for the record, for anyone that asks, my favorite movie is The Silence of the Lambs. That is my favorite movie. My second favorite movie is, without question, The Usual Suspects. Okay? I'm just putting those two on the record. Those are my top two favorite movies. But getting back to Rogue One. So the Rebel Alliance kind of rescues Jin as she's being transported to a labor camp on an Imperial world, and I forget the exact name of the Imperial world. And you see Cassian? Or Cassian? He's the one who rescues her, but you see before that he's at a training post. He meets with a guy who gives him some information. He shoots a couple of stormtroopers, then shoots the guy who gave him the information, and he, exits stage left at that point. And then that leads to rescuing Jin being brought before Mon Mothma, the leader of the rebels. Excuse me. Yeah, just give me 1 sec. We're gonna rub my eye a little there. Shoot, I dropped my glasses. Okay, so she's taken in front of Mon Mothma, and then the whole idea is basically go find your father at that point. And where Cassian, he's told, if you find him, kill him. because, he's the guy who was, the main scientist behind the Death Star. Although in the movie we find out that it's actually called Operation Stardust because, of something that, a kind of a nickname that Galen gives Jin as a child. And speaking of child stuff, Jin's mom gives her a necklace that turns out to be a Kyber crystal, which is the main crystal that powers the laser of the Death Star, and is also one of the main crystals in the lightsaber that the Jedi would use. Of course, the extended universe, there's also other crystals like, Aegean crystals from the planet Aegea, Ilum crystals from the planet Ilum, which I think is where Kyber crystals come from, but I'm not positive on that. Yeah, so you have to cut me a bit of slack on that one. But it finds out that, the movie, much of the beginning of the movie takes place on the planet Jedha, which is like the star, like where they say like in the game Star Wars: The Old Republic, Tython, where the Force and the whole concept of the studying the Force came from. Well, the Jedha kind of has the same kind of thing as Tython, as they explained it in the movie. And yeah, you can see my reflection in my glasses. Sorry, I'm legally blind in this eye with or without them, and this eye might be. I'll show you. Let me just show you real quick. See how thick that lens is? That's how bad my vision is. That my lens has to be that thick. Okay. Yes, I know I'm getting off topic, but I tend to do that because up here is not wired very good. So they're on Jedha, and the Empire is looting the temple on Jedha, looting the Kyber crystals from it, taking them off planet, taking them to the Death Star, which is kind of being built, and there is this amazing scene in the movie of the super laser being brought in, put into the Death Star and installed, and then you see Governor Tarkin shows up and talks to basically complains to Director Krennic about all the delays and the security leaks and all the other stuff that the Death Star is behind schedule, and that he's going to have to report to the Emperor as to the progress and whether or not heads need to roll, essentially. And here's something, when you watch any Star Wars movie, here's something to pick up on. If you see somebody in a kind of a brownish gray uniform, most likely that person is a political figure in the Empire, and somebody wearing white is a high-ranking military official, because a lot of the admirals and the generals and the colonels, a lot of them wear white. But key thing here is that's not true all the time, but a lot of times if you see somebody in a white uniform in a Star Wars movie, they're most likely Imperial military. Okay? So they're at Jedha, and Tarkin basically says, we have to know, you have to show me that this is operational. If it is not operational, I'm going to have to report that to the Emperor. So what happens is the Death Star comes in over the city of Jedha, and there's this really cool shot of the Death Star coming in off the screen, literally blotting out the star that Jedha orbits, and then boom, laser fires, destroys the city, and then and then it moves out of frame because it kind of like just overshadows the sun. Boom, destroys the city, and then all of a sudden everybody just looks and realizes it, and it's like, oh no. Now, when they're escaping Jedha, you get Jin, you get Cassian, you get his droid, again, I forget the name, and then you have the two guys who were former guardians of that temple. Again, I also forget the names because, up here, not wired good. So, they all escaped, like, literally moments before the, like, blast wave from the destruction of the city comes and takes out the area where Saul Karath was. They make their way back to the rebellion. They report in. They're then sent to find the facility where Jin's father is supposedly on a planet called Edu. And literally right before they're about to go and grab the father, Krennic shows up. Sorry about this being shaky. I'm holding this in my hand. Krennic shows up and basically executes everybody except for Galen because, the information got out. There was a security leak. And then right as Jin's about to get up there and go grab her father and get out, the Rebel Alliance comes in and just destroys the entire facility. And in the process kills Galen. Although, given how things were going in the movie at that point, I really think Krennic probably would have murdered Galen if the rebels hadn't shown up. I'm just saying. All right, now I gotta put this down for a sec because I need to take a drink. I'm getting a little dry, so I'm just gonna put this here, right on top of my copy of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Platinum Edition. Oh, that's better. Sorry about that, folks. My mouth. I needed a swig of this. So Galen is killed because the Alliance raid the base, destroy the facility. Galen's killed, and Jin, on the captured Imperial ship that they used to go out, Jin basically confronts Cassian at that point as to what his orders actually were, and that is like this great thing of he's just and I love how he's just like he really gets in her face and he's like, this isn't a choice for some of us, this is our life moment. And that's like really, that is like this cool thing. And then they go back to Yavin. They have this little dialogue with the whole Rebel Council, and Jin basically pleads the case to go raid the facility on the planet Scarif where the plans are. And Mon Mothma basically says, well, since we can't have since the council doesn't agree to it, I can't authorize it. And Jin and Cassian basically, they recruit a whole group, and they basically go off on their own to Scarif to get the plans. And then they basically go off to Scarif to get the plans. And there's this great thing where they get there, and there's this like energy shield, and they have to pass through this gate, and it's basically like the scene in Jedi when Han and Chewie in the shuttle are trying to get to Endor. So we have a repeat of that, and they get through, and then they basically get Jin and Cassian and the droid get inside, and they go to start plans, and then they send this signal out to the rebels who are with them, and the rebels start this attack. And I absolutely love this because Krennic shows up and says he wants all of Galen Orso's records, all of his transmissions, all of his communications, everything. And right as they're like going off and getting it, they start to attack. And there's this part I love where Galen just turns. It's like, hello? Am I the only one who's seeing this here? Why aren't you guys doing anything? I absolutely love that everybody's just seeing all these explosions. They're just sitting there doing nothing, and Krennic's sitting there looking at everybody like, hello? Am I the only one seeing this? Do something. Oh, I loved that part of the movie. I love that part. Oh, I was laughing so good at that one. And then Krennic, when they find out that there's been a breach in the vault where the information is that they're going to get, Galen, and why did I say Galen? Krennic basically grabs a couple of troopers and goes into the vault, and that's right as Jin and Cassian are literally retrieving the plans from the spot, and they're climbing up this shaft. Cassian, again, I'm not sure which one it is. He gets shot, and you think, okay, he's done. But then Jin makes her way up to this antenna that they need to transmit. Meanwhile, the captured pilot, again, don't remember his name because of up here, he basically transmits the Alliance and says, hey, there's this transmission we're sending a transmission that's the plans for this thing. Somebody needs to, get rid of the energy shield for us to transmit because, planet-wide energy shield. So there's this great thing. As this battle's going up, the Rebel Alliance against all these Star Destroyers, these Y-Wings come in and disable one of the Star Destroyers. So this admiral on the ship says, give me one of those Hammerhead Corvettes. And the Corvette comes in and basically just brute forces one Star Destroyer into another, and that causes them to go into the platform of the shield and basically just obliterate that shield. The shield goes down. They send a transmission out. The Rebel Alliance gets the transmission, and then Tarkin shows up on the Death Star and just says, target the facility, and utters the classic line, "You may fire when ready." And at this point, Cassian has shown up right as Krennic's about to shoot Jin. He shoots Krennic, and they transmit. Those two wind up down on one of the beaches on this planet. Right after, the laser fires and the blast waves coming through. And at this point, everybody who went on that mission is pretty much dead because it was essentially a suicide mission at that point. So the rebels get the plans, and right as they're trying to flee, Vader shows up and boards the ship that the plans are transmitted to. Meanwhile, the plans have been put on like a little data disk kind of thing, and everybody's running to try to get the plans. And Vader shows up, and it's totally Vader. He's shown up, and he's going like that, just like literally flinging people over off to the side. Deflected bolts, flinging his lightsaber all over the place. Oh, it was like Vader being Vader, and it was awesome. And literally seconds before Vader Vader can get to it. One guy takes the plans, runs onto the tentative for Leia's ship. Right as they, like literally, like seconds before Vader could get to him, it's like, detach, go, go, go. And one guy hands it to Leia and says, what did they give us? Leia's like, hope. And then, whoosh, off goes her ship. And you get this scene of Vader just standing there like, type of deals. And then that's the end of the movie right there. So this is like, this movie is, the end of this movie is like, literally like, right before in episode 4, when Leia's ship comes over the screen and that Star Destroyer comes over on top. That is what this movie leads up to. So yeah, I know I've rambled a bit, but that's what I do. But I mean, yeah, I've seen Rogue One. It was awesome. Oh, I tell you, I can't wait until this comes out on DVD or Blu-ray in a few months, and then I could just like go episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, Rogue One, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, episode 7. And oh, by the way, for the record, as far as the prequels go, okay, they have flaws. But do I think they are the spawn of Satan? No. Do I think the hate for the prequels is overblown? Yes. But yeah, even I as a Star Wars fan recognize that yes, they have problems. Episode 1 has the most problems with them. Do I think Jar Jar is that bad? No. Do I think it was a stereotype? No. Because I mean, come on. People out there, they just grow a fucking spine. Grow a fucking spine. Sorry, it just I'm just kind of sick of the whole I have to be offended for you crowd. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, as I said numerous times, I'll say it again. Rogue One is awesome. I loved it. It was great. And I will see you all next time. And try to behave yourselves. And just remember, I'm the Lumberjack. So see you later. Oh, and if you liked the video, please hit the subscribe button. Oh, and you can also other people have been saying this, but there's that bell icon. You can hit that, and whenever I get around to uploading, because, you know, sometimes I just don't feel like doing videos. I have stretches where, you know, I've got other things to do, you know. But yeah, if you like what you saw, you know, the subscription button is down there below my finger. Also, there's a bell icon too. And I will see you all next time. Peace. Come on, stop. God, I'm hitting the button. Why isn't it stopping?